everyone, hope you are all doing well. This is Rena. Welcome to the Mama Elephant April release. The release drops April 15th. Also, remember to leave a comment on this video or any of the 3 videos prior, April 11th through April 14th. Mama Elephant will select a random comment, and that person will win a Mama Elephant stamp set. Okay, here is the last of the products. Today we have little kangaroo agenda. So super cute. My favorite one, I think, is the second row. Last one. I just love the little Joey in the pouch. Here is a look at the coordinating dies for little kangaroo agenda. Also, there is a Matchbox Builder Creative Cuts die new for this month. It looks scary in the picture, but we're going to go through all the pieces in a bit. I'm going to be using Copic markers today to color the little kangaroo agenda images. I'm using E30 and E33 for the fur, YG03 for the green, R20 for the blush and different pink accents, W1 for different shading of the accessories, and RV29 for the reds. I'll put the Copic marker colors I use down below. Usually I'll do shading, the darker shade on both sides of the kangaroo if it's facing forward, but if it's facing to the right or left, I'll pick a side where I'll do the darker shade and then I'll blend out. So these were super fun to color, super easy. I go back and after I color it, because sometimes you have to wait for the ink to dry, and I'll accent the ears a little bit darker and the little tuft of hair a little bit darker and the paws a little bit darker and the pouch, just to add a little bit of darkness to those areas. Kangaroos are brutal. I was doing research on them, seeing what color they are on YouTube. And there's some of these boxing kangaroos, and it's intense. They're super muscular. It looks so unreal, but they do definitely box each other when, I think it's due to mating, and they have to win the female, and it's just crazy. And some of them are super tall, like I don't know if they said 7 or 8 feet, and I'm like, that is so crazy. So interesting animal too, and it's interesting to see the little baby in the pouch. It's just so interesting. I've never seen one up close before. I did cut out the images using the coordinating dies, and I always like to look at my cut out pieces in a little bowl afterwards. Here's the Matchbox Builder. That piece right there cuts out the wrap of the matchbox, and here where the die that I'm holding, that creates the box part of the matchbox. And you'll only have to cut out one of each. And the rest of the pieces are used to decorate your box, and you can use whatever pieces that you want. This particular piece is a scallop rectangle, and it can either fit on the inside of the box, or you can use it on the outside wrap of the matchbox and, perhaps stamp out a sentiment or do a little scene. But it's just like a nice little piece that you can create a sentiment and a little scene on. The next piece, this is like a landscape piece that comes with a tab, and you can adhere that on the box part of the matchbox to create kind of like a diorama type scene where it sticks out. So here is a rectangle piece that's similar to the scallop. It just doesn't have the scallop part, and you can use that for the inside and the outside. It fits on both. Here is a mountain piece, and for some of those pieces I decided to cut out the flap because I wanted to use the mountain part only, so you can do that as well. Also comes with a cute little heart, and that heart is sized really nicely for the front of the box. I did use that. And then there are different dies that cut out these cute little flat bottom clouds, and I really love them. And finally, here is a mountain piece again that has one hill, and that other mountain piece had two hills, so you can use either one. I use double-sided tape to put my box together. So the front, you'll want to put that double-sided tape on those smaller flaps, and on the back side, you'll want to put the red sticky tape or whatever tape that you're using on the outside flaps and that outermost part there. So what I like to do is I like to reinforce the score lines, and I like to burnish, all of the folds, and doing this will make it easier to put your box together. It'll just come together really nicely once you've reinforced the score lines and you've folded it, so it'll just kind of mold into how it's supposed to go together. I'm going to start off with the tiny little tabs, and I will peel away the release paper. My tape was super old. I think it's like 10 years old, so it was kind of hard to pull apart. So I'm just using my Tim Holtz tool to kind of pry apart that red part of the tape out. And so once you do that, you're going to fold it into the side of the box to start forming your box. And you'll see how I'm putting it together there. And you'll do that on all of the four sides. I didn't speed up the video in this part, just so it's nice and clear. And then after that, you'll have the release paper on the top part of that box. It's above the fold, and then you're going to fold that in. And I like starting out with the shorter sides of the box. And it's super easy, and that will create the box of the Matchbox. And you can fill this up with little notes using the scallop rectangle or the regular rectangle, or you can create a scene using those little scene builder mountains and landscape pieces. I found it easier to use the double-sided tape as opposed to the wet glue. It's a small piece, so the wet glue might have a tendency to warp. So I like using the double-sided tape because that's like a dry glue. It won't warp the paper. So there it is. And then now we're going to make the wrap of the Matchbox builder, and this will go outside of the box where you slip the box inside. So once again, I'm reinforcing the score lines, and I'm burnishing all of the folds just so it's easy to put together. And the way I like to put this together is I like to put it around the Matchbox and then take out the tape and then fold it in. Now, you don't want to fold it in tight because you won't be able to remove your box. You want to do it like not tight and not too loose. So I like to I'll take out the release paper, and then I'll just fold it in, and the tape goes on top of that piece, so you want to fold it on top to hide that tab. I hope that makes sense. I always get tongue twisted whenever I have to explain folding and stuff like that. But hope that makes sense. And now you have your Matchbox. I'm going to do a little bit of decorating. So I have the scallop rectangle piece, and I'm just doing a little bit of ink blending with I believe it's Wilted Violet Distress Oxide ink, just to have a little atmosphere. I'm taking that little heart, and I'm using the Comic Sayings that was released last month to stamp out a couple of sentiments. This says, "Hello friend, thanks for everything." I'm stamping that out in black. And then I'm just going to adhere that with double-sided foam adhesive. I just wanted it to be lifted a little bit. And then I'm going to adhere my kangaroos, and I believe I'm using just wet glue for the little kangaroos. I'm also cringing watching myself cut the tape because in some videos I do actually cut myself with the scissors, and if you ever see washi tape on my fingers, that means I cut myself. So I'm going, and I have this big panel on double-sided foam adhesive, and then I'll be putting it on the outside wrap. So this is what my Matchbox will look like. I just like everything on foam adhesive for this. It just gives it a little bit more dimension, and it just looks, I just wanted it to have just a lot of dimension. And so now we're going to work on the inside of the box, and we're going to play with some of those like landscape pieces. So there's the inside of the box. I wanted to have that white behind, so I cut out that rectangle piece, and I have that mountain piece, and I put the glue on the flap, and then you adhere that flap onto the wall of the box. So I have a little kangaroo behind, and then I thought I would put a little 2 kangaroos up front. Just a simple scene. I just wanted to show you how to use those like little landscape dies. And then you insert your box, and then you're done. I also wanted to do a different version of the box that Megan did. Megan is Soli Ciela. She's on the design team. And there's a little video of hers, and it looks like an easel, and it's on the mamaelephant Instagram, and I also believe it's on Megan's Instagram as well. So I did I did ask her, Megan, send me a picture. So thanks, Megan, for sending me that so I would know how to do it. So we're working on the front of this second box. I am using the scallop rectangle and the mountain, and I've stamped out the comic sayings on it for the sentiment, and I'm ink blending using Distress Oxide ink in Broken China just to make a little bit of a sky. And then I will add my elements together. I have that mountain, and I've snipped off the tab because I didn't need that part. This says take care, you're the best. And then I will directly adhere the 2 kangaroos up front, and I will directly adhere a couple of the flat bottom clouds on the top, just to add to the scene a little bit more. I like the smaller size of real estate on this project. It just makes it easy to fill up a scene and just, you know, complete it pretty fast. So I'm going to take that panel, and I'm going to put it on the wrap part of the box. So this will be the front of the Matchbox, and that will be adhered using double-sided foam adhesive, so there's a bit of dimension. And in order to make the easel, you need to cut out a piece of paper, and you're going to make the easel part. So this is 2.5 by 3.5, and you're going to score at 1.5 and 3 and fold it so it looks like a triangle. So that'll create your easel. And then you'll want to cut out the piece where you want your scene to be. I'm using the rectangle piece without the scallop. And then that small flap down there, which should be 1/2 inch, that's where you're going to put the glue. And then you'll adhere that bottom part to the floor of the box. And then in that center part of your easel, that's where you're going to put your rectangle and create your scene on. So I'm using the double mountains, and I've cut off the tab, and then I'm just adhering it. And I thought to myself, well, I don't want it directly on the bottom of the scene. I want there to be a little bit of leeway. So I just have it a little bit higher than the bottom of that panel. Just a tiny bit. I'm going to add my little flat bottom clouds in a gray color. I just use all the different scraps I had on my desk. I'm using just wet glue for the clouds. And then I'm going to add the 3 kangaroos. These are so cute. I love them. I love that little tuft of hair that they have. I wanted a pop of red, so I chose kangaroo with the heart. So we're just going to adhere that. I didn't want to speed up the video here too much, so you could see how that easel is formed. So that will be adhered to that that middle panel there, and that tab at the bottom will be adhered to the floor of the box. And then that third panel with nothing on it is going to keep everything up. I'm just making sure everything is burnished. So there you go. That's how you make your thing. And then you can fold it in, and then the person can lift it out and make it stand on its own. That's why I wanted to do a lot of dimension. It gives the person something to grab onto. Okay, so here's a picture of the Megan style Matchbox builder, and this is where you create an easel where your scene will be propped up. It is really cute this way. Thank you for showing me how to do this, Megan. This version is where you utilize the tabs on the landscape pieces to kind of make a flat style where it's housed inside of the box, and you adhere that tab on the walls of the box. And here is a picture of the 2 fronts of the boxes with the box on the inside of the wrap piece. Oh my goodness, I feel like I was so tongue-tied, but hopefully you get to make some of these. They're super fun to do. You can also opt to cut a bunch of those rectangles and write little notes on them and have a little stack and put them inside, or you can put little candies and stuff like that also. And that is it. That is a wrap for the April release. The release drops April 15th, 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to join the design team on the Instagram hop to see all of the different projects using these new products for April. I hope you all have an awesome day. Stay safe, happy crafting, and as always, I appreciate you for watching the videos. Bye guys, see you next time.